Hey everybody, Courtney here with a Vinyasa yoga practice that emphasizes mobility. So do start with me on all fours, come to a table. Brighten your fingers, stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Beginning with a steady inhale through your nose. And at first open the mouth. Lick your lips, swallow. Let the next inhale bring the heart forward, arching. And with your exhale, scoop the belly, rounding. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. From there, starting to circle the body, inhaling arch. Scoop the belly and round, spinal rolls, taking at least 3 or so one way, and 3 or so the other. Let the elbows be soft, the muscles around the elbows starting to wake up a little more. Letting these circles be smaller or bigger, based on the feedback you're receiving from your body. And then from this tabletop position, curl the toes, lift your hips, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale high on tippy toes. Staying on your tippy toes, bend your knees a lot on the exhale. Keep reaching your booty up and back, lengthening your spine on the inhale. Send the heels toward the floor from there with the next exhale. A couple more, inhale high on tippy toes. Staying high, bend the knees, reach your booty up and back. From there, start to reach the heels slowly toward the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walking hands to feet, take it to the back of the mat. Bring your hands to your shin bones or onto blocks if that's helpful. Inhaling, flatten everything out, finding Ardha Uttanasana, the half fold. Exhaling, release, drop the head, gently lift the quads, the hips, Uttanasana, the full fold. Inhale, chest out. Exhale, we fold in. 1 more time, deep breath in. Let it out. From there, bend the knees a lot, consider rolling it up with me. That is not so good for the lower back. Lengthen and lift instead. Easy shoulder rolls. Do shrug with your inhale. Soften and release. Exhaling through the nose if that's available. Through the mouth if it feels needed or if it's just effective at first. Clearing the day, clearing anything stagnant. Doing what we can to release what is out of our control. Take the arms out and up. With the exhale, swan diving, take it all the way down. Inhale, expand, finding that half fold. Exhale, release to the complete fold. Inhale, root and rise, standing it up. For this practice right away, dive it all back down. Couple more, inhale, chest out, lifting halfway. Exhale, folding it all the way. Inhaling, standing all the way up. And again, do dive it all down. 1 more time, lifting and lowering. The variation on the half sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. This time, letting that fold lead you back toward down dog. Pressing the thighs back as you walk forward. Adding any sort of calf stretching, neck stretching, even returning to something we did in the first few minutes of the practice today. Bring it forward, find a plank. Adding that little rock, sway it first. So you really stack shoulders over wrists or just back of the wrists. You reach the heels back, the crown forward. Take an inhale here, starting to float the right foot up. Exhale, bring that knee to the right collarbone. Inhale, reach the leg back, and exhale, tap the foot down. Left side, float it up. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, reach the heel back. Tap it down. Let's do that just 1 more time. Nice and slow variation on the top, the tiger. From that plank, knees up or down, maybe modifying. Shift forward, draw the elbows back, and as slow as you can go, maybe hovering. Pass through Chaturanga and take it to the belly. Reach the arms forward, hands about shoulder width. You're going to slice the elbows back, opening the heart, cactus variation in cobra. Inhale, come on down, exhale it out. Inhale, float it up. Moving now on the exhale and inhale. Coming up with each inhalation. Take it down with the exhalation. 2 more on your own. Do turn to one ear or the other, following that 5th or 6th round. Maybe wiggle your hips, windshield wiper legs. And then back toward neutral, hands outside your mid-ribs. Curl the toes. You can use the knees or lift the thighs, which is harder. Push it up, plank. Press it back, down dog. Getting into a more traditional vinyasa flow. Inhale for plank pose. With the exhale, you can take it halfway, really lifting the shoulder heads, the navel to the spine. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Do feel free to linger if that's helpful. Exhale back, downward facing dog. If it's feeling pretty good, let's do that 2 times in a row without really stopping for more than the exhale. Unless, of course, you need to change it up and do. Resting, backing off. You can use the knees as I just did from up dog to down dog. Ways to make it work for you. From this downward facing, lift high on tippy toes. Looking to hand step or hop. Aligning feet about hip width. Inhale again, chest out. Exhale, simply fold back in. 2 more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Last time, deepest breath available. Rolling your lengthening 1 more time. Yogi's choice, coming on up. Stacking the vertebra, aligning from the feet to the crown. Getting into Utkatasana or chair pose, bend the knees. First one, you might take a moment to kind of shimmy on in, out of breath. And then more of a flow, helping to strengthen the ankles, knees, hips, increasing that idea of range of motion. Come on up. With the exhale, do release your arms down. Bending the knees, Utkatasana. Feet can always walk a teeny bit wider. Root and rise, Tadasana, finding that sense of standing tall without jamming the joints. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more like that, and then we're going to continue on. Standing tall. Notice if your feet tend to want to turn out or in, adjusting for that moment to align before things get more advanced. Doing your best to breathe through any wobbles. They're inevitable. Even if you're doing yoga many times a week, every day, there are those moments where the physical body just does not cooperate. And that's okay. Can you breathe through those challenges? Getting better at it in this semi-controlled environment so we can do that elsewhere. Standing on that right foot, you're going to pick up your left knee. Nicknamed Flamingo pose. Now the hand can be on the thigh, kind of guiding it, or hand at the hips, whatever works. You're going to take that left knee out left. From there, try to bring the leg all the way around so your left heel moves towards your own left glute, your booty. And then breathing in, breathing out, again, circle that knee, that hip, bringing it back to Flamingo. 1 more time, just like that. Breathing in, breathing out. Standing knee can unlock a little more as is helpful. And then once you're back in your Flamingo, you're going to start to step your left foot way back. Right knee's going to bend toward 90, crescent moon in the front thigh. Back knee unlocks, arms are going to reach up. Turn the palms to face forward, bend your elbows, that cactus that we did in our cobras a few minutes ago. Root and rise, do inhale, stand up without jamming the knees. And exhale, take it down. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Holding in crescent, take a few more breaths. Maybe reaching up, the right hip draws back, the left hip wraps forward. Tailbone lengthens, the sternum lifts, maybe palms touch, Adho Mudra. I'm in Kali, extending thumb and first. Hands can be at the heart, the hips gaze forward. And can you lift from the core, your back knee, and up to that flamingo shape? Breathing in, breathing out, let it go. A little wiggle, sway, side two. Standing on the left foot. Finding mountain, pick up that right knee. You're now in quote unquote flamingo. That right knee, right hand can kind of guide the leg, especially on the first one. Or of course, both hands at the hips. My standing knee generally has to unlock a little bit to allow my body not to lean excessively, especially on the side, which is a little more challenged. Trying to get that heel toward the glute. And then that full circle back to neutral. Catching your balance, find that drishti, that gaze if you haven't. Looking at something not moving, shifting to crescent. Front knee bends over the ankle. You're high on the ball of the back foot. It could take a moment, widening your stance if you got kind of on a tightrope. Take those arms into cactus. Back knee unlocks more if it hasn't. Rooting to rise, we inhale, we're standing it up. Torso stays lifted, exhale, take it down. And never jamming into the joints, check in. And take at least two more. Breathing in, breathing out, a few more cycles in crescent. Adding any change up in the arms, even Kali Mudra. One more moment just to be here. Hands can be at the heart, the hips, whatever's easier. Lifting your back knee up. And exhale, let it go. Step the feet about mat width, circle those hips. Breathing in, take it forward, breathing out, take it back. Really simple, conscious movement with breath. Sometimes back to basics really is best. And if you feel a little ridiculous, that's all right. Sometimes it's good for the ego. Closing your eyes, just noting that you are increasing mobility, range of motion where it's often needed, especially in between a long sit. If you've got meetings, Zoom calls, you're traveling on a plane, train, vehicle. And after I do at least a few hip circles each way, I'll take your arms to your chest, crossing the hands. Whichever one you naturally do, let's just switch it. And then you're going to start to circle the mid-back, the upper spine, the thoracic region. Moving from the lumbar, the lower back, again toward the mid-spine, the thoracic. And you might want to circle each direction more than once, or kind of alternate again and again. It's obvious one side needs more time, that range of motion. Stay with it for at least the breath or two. Inevitably, your hips might do a little bit, just noting that it's more about what's happening above the pelvis. Little rock, sway, self-hug. Taking our hands now either by our sides or maybe behind the head and neck, and circling the head, the neck, be cervical. Sometimes the hands help to guide, sometimes it feels forceful. Doing what you can to get into those regions that are needing mobility, range of motion. Maybe pausing with the heart lifted, letting your head lean back, kind of like you're sunbathing. And then eventually bringing chin level with the earth. We can step, jump, feet back to neutral. Inhale, take it up. Cactus shape one more time today here. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, we dive it down. Inhale, chest forward. Walking to your plank pose from here. Big inhale. Exhale to a traditional table. You're on the balls of the feet. Hands maybe a little bit forward of the shoulders, opening up the collarbones, the heart. Some will turn out if it's needed in the wrists. From here, with the exhale, pull it back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Knees staying soft throughout. Inhale, take them to the earth, arching. Elbows soften. Exhale, keep those knees bent, reaching and lengthening the spine. Drop the head, soften the neck. Big breath in, take 3 more. Maybe an open mouth exhale, let something out. Last 2. And 1. bringing it to the knees, a few Sufi circles each way. Let your belly, your chest stretch and open. Clearing anything stagnant. Maybe letting those circles get a little bigger, getting into the outer hips, glutes, and low back. As mentioned with our standing circles, you can always alternate more than once. It's not about doing an equal number to create balance. Taking it to your belly, a slow descent from plank or from the knees. At least an exhale or two. And then when you land, we're going to take a twist. It is a big chest opener, again, increasing mobility where we often need it. Forehead does come to the floor. Arms are relatively wide, a loose, low T, if you will. Let's start to hike that left knee up toward your left arm for a moment. You're going to start to use that foot to slowly push and open into the right shoulder, the chest. You can just relax here. That left arm starts to reach up and maybe gently over. This is an area I'm quite stiff. So not limiting yourself based on my range of motion, but noting there's a lot of weight going on that right shoulder. So it could be plenty to keep the left hand grounded. Linger for at least another breath or two. Big sighs here might be really helpful. Coming to center. Unwind for at least the breath. Hiking that right knee, right foot up. Using your right fingertips, your foot, start to take it over. Very different stretch for some of us. Side to side, easing in. Right arm can again reach up and back any amount. Can also travel back down to the floor. Little adjustments so you can relax into it for a few more breaths. Eventually unwinding. Bring your hands toward the midline. Push yourself up to the knees. Walking knees wide, thumbs to the hip flexors, kind of massaging that region for a moment. Slide your hands down the legs to the earth, lion's roars in Simhasana, lion's pose. So you scrunch the face and then you stick out your tongue, releasing the throat, the jaw, anything congested in that region. You can also point the tongue directly down and take the eyes up. 2 more. One more time, maybe scrunching and releasing. Then walk the hands further forward. Allow for a little side stretch, taking the hands toward one side, then the other. Lingering on the side that needs that time, that space. Eventually coming back to neutral. Inhaling to roll it up. Exhaling at the top. Then do make your way down to the ground. A very brief close to this particular practice. Lift your hips up onto a block or onto a firm pillow. Take a moment in restorative bridge, letting everything you've done move into every cell, every part of your being, taking that healing effect. Heels reaching over hips, maybe taking legs wide for a little external rotation. Give yourself another 10 to 20 breaths here, or in any other relaxation, any other restorative pose or shape. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste, yogis.